First year of marriage. Are you newly married? Or are you planning to soon get married? You are at the right place. This is the video that you must watch, because knowing what I'm going to share in this video and not knowing can make a big difference to your, not just your money, but also your marriage, your relationship, for which you have decided to stay together forever. And this is such an important topic. So if you are planning to get married, if you are newly married or a year old in your marriage, you must know how to manage your money. Very, very important. And now what if you're watching this video and you are more than 1 year in your marriage, maybe 5 years, 10 years, what you should do? Probably there is not much you can do by watching this video. At best, you can see what you have missed. And if you really feel for those who are newly married, maybe your brother, your sister, your friend, or if you are older enough, your children, pass on this video. Let them watch this. This is a very important video, a very important session. I wish I had something like this 23 years ago. Yes, I am married for 23 years. I am a certified financial planner and a certified marriage coach. I know both the worlds. I've been in the mutual fund industry, in the financial services for 30 years and married for 23 years. And I wish this session was there when I was newly married. It would have made a world of difference for me. But thank God that because I was in the industry and because of this whole discipline of financial planning, which started much later in my life, I was able to turn the tide around. I was able to turn the tables, do my best, work hard, apply all the wisdom, and then make consistent wealth. But I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. I don't want you to know when you're in your late 30s or 40s. I want you to know it now, right now. Probably you are 25, 28, 30 years old. You are at the right time. You are in the sweet spot. You have nearly 30 years to your retirement. You're newly married. You're holding two very important things in your hand, and both are so important. Because when you retire at 60, if you have a lot of wealth, but you do not have that loving wife or husband, life will be miserable. And on the other hand, you have a great marriage, but you failed miserably in managing your money. Life will be very tragic, miserable too. So both are important, and I can tell you at this stage of my life that both are very important. So let's get into the session. And as always, I strongly recommend sit with your spouse. Maybe you are the husband who thinks that anyway, I'm going to manage my money. My wife doesn't know much. Maybe she's not working, or if she's working, she doesn't know much. No, you are underestimating your wife's intelligence and wisdom. You will know it when you involve her in your day-to-day finances and managing your money. I have this experience. Although being in the mutual fund industry, and my wife, who is a speech therapist, a paramedical professional, she has picked up. And she has helped me many times in our marriage, prevented me from disasters. So do not underestimate your wife or even your husband For example, you may be the one who knows a lot as a wife, but you may be thinking, oh, my husband doesn't know much. No, I would strongly recommend, do not underestimate. Please have your spouse sit with you. Take a notebook, a pen, or your laptop, open your notepad or Word or whatever, and make notes. These are very important. You cannot miss them. Let's get started. Before we get into how to manage money in the first year of your marriage, the number one question, I'm sure some of you have it, and if you do not have it, let me ask you this question. Why is it so important that you learn how to manage your money in the first year of your marriage? A very important question. Money, if you don't know, money is one of the leading causes of conflicts in marriage and even separation. And I can tell you from experience of interviewing, coaching, and counseling marriages for the last probably 15 years. I'm also an author of a book called Volume Marriage. I have interviewed many couples, talked to many couples, taught to thousands of families, and I can tell that money is one of the leading causes. Money is not neutral. You cannot ignore money. You cannot say, I don't know, I don't want to. You cannot ignore. Money is like an atom bomb. It has the potential to destroy you, your marriage, your family, your generations. At the same time, if you use it well, money has the potential to grow, multiply, be a blessing to you, to your family, to your friends, and to your generations. So do not ignore money. Hence, the sooner you know, the better. When you learn how to manage money, what you're doing is you are having a proactive plan to manage your money, to handle your finances. When you're proactively doing something, what you're doing is you are preventing a lot of avoidable conflicts in marriage. You are having a plan which will prevent a lot of disaster later. So it's a plan, it's a proactive approach to managing money and also preserving your marriage, your relationship. Remember, you have married so that you will be permanently married. It's a permanent relationship. So you cannot ignore. And when you have a proactive plan, you're actually preventing those conflicts that can actually hurt you and your marriage. When you manage money together, you're building trust, which is so crucial for marriage. It's a foundation for marriage. Your marriage is built on trust and also transparency. Because you're managing money and learning about money, there's a lot of trust and transparency, and both are so crucial for your relationship more than money. Yes, of course, you also make a lot of money, but then what is more important is your relationship. When you start learning to manage money early in life, you are actually learning how to make decisions as a couple, not as an individual. You're learning how to make decisions together. It's like a company, a startup, or an organization, or a business where there are two partners. What happens? When when they're together, they have to make a lot of decisions. So if they lay down the approach and the plan earlier, what happens is when they come together, they know how to handle it. And when you learn how to make decisions in the first year of your marriage, that will be an asset which will stay for life. Learning how to make decisions is so important. Many don't know how to make decisions even much later in life. And most of it is because of conflicts. Remember, financial unity is vital for marital unity. Let me repeat, financial unity is vital for marital unity. When you're together in your finances, it creates a bond. an invisible bond. As I just mentioned, money is so important. It's an integral part of our life. Not having money and having money is a big difference, which can make a big difference to you, to your mental health, to your emotional health, to everything that you do, to your confidence. So, financial unity is vital for marital unity. And when you start learning to manage money in the first year, you form some habits, which we will see again soon. Now, those habits will remain for life, right? We know that old habits die hard. And when you come together on the table, plan and decide, execute, and you form habits, that will stay for life. And finally, why you need to learn how to manage money in the first year of a marriage is because when you both do it together, you empower each other. Yes, there will be knowledge difference. For example, as a husband, I have more knowledge than my wife. But then my wife and I both are empowered. I'm a financial coach, so obviously I know a lot. But then my wife is not much behind. She also knows. In fact, she can coach women, young women, help them how to manage money because she has learned, because she's empowered. So, friends, please empower your spouse, your husband, or your wife. And if you do it in the first year of your marriage, it'll create a strong, strong bond, right? So, let's move on to the actual execution of managing money in the first year of your marriage. What should you first do as soon as you get married? Or if you're already married, or you're planning to get soon married, remember first thing, have a risk plan. Now, there are many things to managing money, but why am I talking about a risk plan first? Because risk is something which is uncertain. Right now, the probability that I will get hospitalized or I may lose my job if I'm working or anything happening to me, the probability is very low. It is not zero. It is not zero. It is low. But the magnitude of the consequences, if I were to be hospitalized or anything happens to me, the magnitude of the consequences are so high that I cannot ignore this uncertainty. That's why the moment you get married, first thing, have a risk plan in place. And what does a risk plan have? There are three things, remember, in a risk plan. Number one, life insurance, which is also called as term insurance. Number two, health insurance. Number three, emergency funds. Term insurance, it's a insurance where you pay a very small premium, you get a very big coverage. For example, a couple of 30 years, if you buy an insurance policy, a term insurance of 1 crore, probably you may get it for 12 or 15,000 maximum if you're healthy. So it's a very powerful tool in your hands. And I would strongly recommend men, husbands, please buy a term insurance. You will be the policy holder and your wife will be the nominee, 100% nominee. If you have already have a term insurance before you got married, and if you have given your mother or your father as the nominee, quickly change that and make it into your wife. Remember, now you and your wife are one. Your wife depends on you tomorrow when you have kids and as they're growing. Your wife will be during several periods of her life, she'll be dependent on you, especially when the baby is born or many other reasons. So it is very important, if you love your wife, buy a term insurance and make her the nominee. Life is uncertain, and we have seen during COVID, anything can happen anytime. Yes, we are not living in the COVID era. It's post COVID, but remember that life is uncertain. Anything can happen anytime. So it is best that you buy a term insurance. Now, can your wife also buy a term insurance? Why not? She also can. But why am I urging men to do it? Because it's your responsibility primarily to take care of your family. Don't depend, don't tell that, oh, my wife also works, let her do it. No. You have to take the responsibility of you and your children. Number one, term insurance. Number two, family floater health insurance. In all probability, if you both are working or if you only you are working, maybe as husband or a wife, you have a health insurance from the company. But I strongly urge you to have an insurance policy of your own. Buy an insurance policy. Why? What if you lose your job today? Is there a possibility of losing your job? Yes. Probability may be low, but the magnitude of the consequences are high. You need, and what if you are hospitalized before you get a new job? You don't have an insurance. You have to withdraw from your investments or you have to take a loan. And both are not desirable. Having an insurance will protect your wealth. So have a health insurance policy, a floater, because it's very important that because even after your retirement, you will never get a policy because by then you would have acquired a lot of diseases, lifestyle diseases. And even in your young age, you cannot postpone because if you get certain types of diseases, it's very hard to get a health insurance policy. But if you buy a term insurance and a health insurance early in life, you get it at a lower premium. You don't have to go for health checkup, tests, etc. And finally, an emergency fund. Emergency fund is like a pot filled with money. In the olden days, they would break the pot, right? So you can now think that's a pot. You need to have money, liquid cash. I mean, some cash at home, a lot of money in your bank account, either in an FD or liquid funds or some funds where you can withdraw money quickly. At least you need 3 months or to 6 months of your expenses. Again, if you lose your job, where will the money come from? So you must build your emergency fund pot. First thing, you should take care of these three when you are new in your marriage. Having a strong risk plan keeps you secure, keeps your wife secure, keeps your family secure. Even later in life, maybe 5 years, 10 years in marriage, when you have small kids, you need it all the more. And you can simply keep increasing your emergency funds. Emergency funds are basically 3 to 6 months of your necessary expenses, expenses without which you cannot survive, cannot live for too long, like your EMIs, your rent, your groceries, right? The food that you buy, and the school fees, and all the necessary expenses. That monthly expenses multiplied by 3 or 6 is what you should have in your emergency fund. So, number one, have a risk plan. Number two, combine your finances. Let me repeat, combine your finances. And you heard it right. Now, in all likelihood, you who are watching the video, both of you are working, right? And what do I mean by saying combine your finances? You understood it right. Bring both your salaries from your individual bank accounts to a new bank account, a joint account, where you bring all your money together and you combine. Why combine? That is the principle of marriage. You have become one flesh. From two, you become one. From I and you, we have now become us. We are one. That is the principle of marriage. You share your body. How much more anything else? How much more your money? Do you want to hold on to your money? That doesn't work well. You need to give up. You need to give it all for your spouse. Now, this problem is less intense when you are the only person working and probably your wife is a homemaker. When I got married, those days my wife was not working. So it's a little easy, but still we had a joint account. I had a joint account. She had all the rights over the money. It was not just my money, it was our money. That vocabulary, our money, has been there right from day one. And that is the way it should be. Now, the complication comes when you are, both of you are working. That is a tough thing, but that is so, so important. So important, not just for your marriage, but even for your money. So, both building wealth and building your marriage, strengthening your marriage, the foundation is combining finances. Now, I know many would say, what if we separate? What if we have problems in our marriage? Isn't it foolish? It's like telling, I won't spend too much money on the foundation of the building. What if the building falls? All my money that I've spent on the foundation will all go waste. Would you say that? No. On the contrary, you will say, let me build a strong, strong foundation so that my building will never come down. Same way in your marriage. When you combine the money, what you're doing is you're building a strong foundation for your marriage, and your marriage will never break. Trust me. Trust me. If you do this right in the beginning of your marriage will get a very strong foundation, which you won't be able to see immediately. But months and years later, you will see that. So please combine your finances. And why you do that? Is it just because I am a marriage coach, a marriage counselor, I'm an author of a book on marriage, so I am telling you? Because I prefer that? No. It's nothing to do with preference. It is proven. There are several surveys and researches that have been done which tell that, especially even among self-made millionaires, the reason for growing their wealth was because they combined their finances and they had their spouse as a team partner. When you do a business, you come together believing that your business will not break. You will both do, or two or three will do it together. You try to build a strong foundation by coming together and saying that we all are accountable to each other. And same with marriage. Combining your money together simplifies money management and builds efficiency. Why do I say so? When you put your money together, you will have your financial goals together, which we will talk about a little later. You budget together, you do everything together. You have common goals. It's simple. You pay from one account for all your bills. You buy from the same account the groceries and payment of your premiums or EMIs. It's so simple. Otherwise, how much should I pay from my account? How much will you pay from your account? Okay, let me pay groceries from here. We'll pay the electricity bill from there. How foolish. How inefficient. Oh, I have got money short in this account. Can you give me some money? Can you transfer some money? Why would you do that? You're one. So it simplifies. It simplifies. Yes, right in the beginning of your marriage, decide who will do what duties. For example, in my home, I pay all the bills from that one account. And my wife, on the other hand, she does all the purchases, groceries, clothes. She hunts for the discounts, right? So that is the way you can distribute the labor. But then still, it goes from one account. It simplifies. And when you have money in one account, it again builds transparency and trust. You're transparent. You know who is spending what money and where is it going. And now these days with credit card statements, UPI statements, if you handle less of cash and more of online and digital, it's all there from one account. It's so easy, so simple. It will build trust. You're accountable to each other. You talk to each other. You communicate. Builds trust and transparency. And it also promotes communication. When you have into one account, maybe you budget at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month, you just go over who has spent what. You're communicating. In fact, I would recommend that you communicate every week or as and when you make some huge purchases. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of communication in marriage. Being a marriage coach, I can tell you this with certainty. Without communication, your marriage will break down. So when you communicate for your money, you're actually communicating, you're promoting communication, which will strengthen your marriage. And when you have pooled your money, you have shared goals, shared financial goals. And because you have combined your finances, there is a feeling of unity, isn't it? Those who have done it will vouch for this. There's a sense of unity. We are one. We'll fight any battles together as a team. When you get married, you are one team. So combining finances is number two. What is number three? We finished with the risk plan, number one. Number two, combining your finances. Then what do you do once you've combined your finances? The third thing that you need to do is at a number three is have a debt plan, debt management plan. Tackle your loans first. Even before you think about financial goals and all the other things, I would strongly say, please immediately tackle your debt. Why do I say so? I believe many get married with loans on their back. They come into the marriage with loans, educational loan, personal loans, home loan. When I got married, we had a home loan. I had taken a home loan. So it's common these days to get into marriage with loans. And loans can actually derail your relationship and also derail your wealth building process. Very important that you first be very conscious of debt. First thing, if you haven't talked before marriage, when you come in marriage, please talk about all the loans that you have taken, all the loans that you are now responsible, because you are now one. You two have become one, and the pooled money will be used for repaying the debt. A husband cannot say, you took the loan to his wife, now you repay the loan with your money. Absolutely meaningless, useless discussions, wrong discussions in a marriage. Now that the money is pooled, you have become one. All the loans are to be repaid from this combined pool. It's my loan is our loan, your loan is our loan. It's our loan. So tackle it as a family. Very important principle. Debt can put a lot of stress on your marriage. It's proven. Research tells that where there is a lot of debt, it puts a strain on the marriage, on the relationship. There are a lot of conflicts, and even to the point of separation. So please do not take any loan lightly. And women feel more insecure than the husbands. Women feel insecure when the finances are not okay, when there is too much of debt. The women feel insecure. And a lot of times men don't feel it. Don't men feel that they can handle it. They don't want to look at it. A lot of times this false belief is that I can repay. I can repay the EMIs. So what's the big deal? Trust me. Debt can slow down your wealth creation. I have posted two videos: get rid of your loans, and another one is three things that will slow down your wealth creation. Both those videos, I am talking about how loans can slow down your wealth creation. Watch those videos, you'll get in depth knowledge. And finally, in your debt plan, discuss and commit that you will never take loans except for a home loan. Home loan is the only good loan. The rest are all bad loans. And even among the bad loans, you've got the secured and the unsecured. So all your auto loans, the car loan that you take, or anything that you take, they're all secured. That if you're not able to repay, that product will be taken away, that car will be taken away. That's a secured loan, although it's a bad loan. Then there are unsecured loans like the personal loans, credit card loans. They're all bad loans. They're all unsecured loans. Never have them because they will derail your whole wealth creation. Do not have loans except for the home loan. And even your home loan, have a plan to repay it at the earliest. Because as I said, loans will slow down. I've posted a reel on Instagram on Frankie N. Fernandez, my handle, where I've actually given the analogy of a bag, a big, huge bag on your back, and you're running. Can you run fast? Even Usain Bolt, the fastest man on earth, cannot run with a huge load on his back. How much more you and me? So you cannot create wealth with loan on your back. So number one, have a risk plan. Number two, combine your finances. Number three, have a debt plan in your first year of marriage. Number four, very important, though not many talk about it, know each other's money personality. Well, I have posted a number of videos on YouTube on this topic. What happens when a spender marries a spender? What happens when a spender marries a saver? And there are a couple of other videos on this topic, money personality, especially in marriage. Now, why should we even think about money personality? We all have money personalities, and in marriage, it's very important. In fact, in life, it is very important that you are self aware. Who you are, your own personality. For example, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Are you an A type personality, a go getter? Or are you a person who's a perfectionist? Or are you a person who takes it cool? See, these are all personality types. You must know about your personality and also your spouse's personality. Same way, you should also know about your own money personality and your spouse. For example, broadly speaking, there are three money personality types: a saver, a spender, and a giver. Of course, there are many other variants of these three, but broadly speaking, these are the money personalities. And invariably, a saver marries a spender, or a spender marries a giver, and all that happens. Now, there can be a lot of conflicts, and one might feel superior to the other. For example, a saver might think that my wife, who's a spender, is bad. I'm superior. But there is no superior or inferior. It's a money personality. You get it from your family, from the cultural influences, from knowledge, and many other things which actually influence your money personality type. So, if you have grown in your home with parents who are spenders, you naturally will acquire all those tendencies of spending. And if you have grown in a family who is only who actually save and invest, you will become a saver. So when you marry your spouse, whatever be her personality type, or whatever be her money personality type, whatever be his money personality type, it's acquired through various sources. So you cannot judge. Can you change your money personality? Yes, gradually you can bring that change. And that is what you do it in marriage. First of all, you appreciate each other's differences, because then you will not judge. You will never say, I am better than you. You will say, hey, we are different. Let's figure out how best we can take advantage. If you are a saver and your spouse is a spender, now you feel that that's your strength and your spouse's weakness. What do? You judge and you criticize. Now, what you can do in marriage and what you should do in marriage is complement each other. If you are a saver and your wife is a spender, that's your strength that you can save. But it is also your weakness. You don't know how to spend. Spend on the right things. All spending is not bad. So you learn from your spouse, hey, how best can we do this? How best can we spend on the right things? And I will teach you how to save. So you complement, right? In my videos, which I mentioned, actually I have given 6 types of combinations and how you can manage your conflicts and overcome your conflicts. Watch them. So you must know your spouse's money personality types and your own. Then you'll be able to manage your wealth, manage your money together, and build your relationship too. So we have seen 4 things that are required in the first year of your marriage concerning finances. Number 1, the risk plan. Number 2, combining of finances. Number 3, having a debt management plan. Number 4, knowing each other's money personality. And now we move on to number 5, that is a spending plan. Now, I would consider this as one of the most difficult plans, yet the most rewarding plans. Difficult because we are used to spending however much our salary. Our human tendency is to first spend as much as we can, as much as we would like to. And we often think that I don't have enough money because my salary is low, which is not true. So you must work on this plan right in the first year of your marriage, as early as possible. As a young family, there's a huge tendency to spend a lot of your money. And if you both are working, you'll have lots of money to spend. And the most natural thing that comes to any couple's mind is to have a good standard of living, enjoy life as long as we are young. But this attitude, this approach must change. Number 1 for working on this spending plan is you must have a budget. I didn't say it's nice to have a budget. You must try to have a budget. No, you must have a budget. If this little discipline, you are able to adopt it early in your life, the rest of your life, you will enjoy the rewards. And I would say budgeting is one of the fundamental things in managing money. When we were young in our marriage, this is one thing we were compelled to do because we didn't have too many resources. We just had one salary and we had to manage with that one salary. And I had a huge EMI for a home loan. So budgeting was necessary for us. And thankfully, my wife and I both would sit and do the budget. And that is something which you will have to do, right? We talked about combining money. And we also talked about having the risk plan. Now, for doing all these things or managing your debt, this is you do it as a team. So, budgeting also has to be done as a team. Sit together, take a notebook or an Excel in your computer and enter all your all the spending that you do. And if you do not know what it is, if you don't remember it, go back to your 2 or 3 months of your expenses, your mailbox. You will find all the UPI payments. You will find all the credit card payments. You can go to your bank statement and you will find the money that you have withdrawn. So go look into your expenses. In fact, you'll be surprised to know where you're spending. So the first thing you need to do is write down all your main heads of expenses: the rent, the house rent, the groceries, and maybe the fruits and vegetables that you purchase, the, the gas, cooking gas, water, electricity bill, travel, and if you have EMIs, all the EMIs, if you have insurance premiums, list them down. Now, some of them are very easy. In fact, also mobile bills. Now, some of the categories are very easy. You can just make a note and you know what are roughly the expenses. Yeah, there are some which means they are fixed, but there are some which are variable. You don't know, but you can roughly put a number there. On one column, you have the income, the other column, you've got the expenses. Write down your budget. This is the beginning of your spending plan. This is just the start. Once you have budgeted at the beginning of the month, that month, for example, we are in June 2024. Example, you have already prepared a budget in the maybe the end of May, and that is what you should do. The previous month, you should have a budget for the next. Now, every time you spend, every day, all that you spend, you must track. In fact, this is the key. This will really help you. So there are two sides in the budgeting, the spending plan. One side is preparing the budget, second is tracking. Tracking is very important. In fact, once you start tracking, you will realize where all you're spending. Track your cash, your credit card, your UPI expenses. Track all your expenses. And as you keep tracking, you will realize where your money is also leaking. You don't even realize. And by the end of the month, when you make the list of your expenses and compare with your budget, you will know how much you have overshot. And the next month, make a commitment that you will stick to your budget. Right? So this is extremely important. This whole exercise of budgeting and tracking will really, really help you. Do not underestimate this little discipline in your life, which you should have it for life. Find out ways and means. Look for maybe apps. Look for some apps or Excel sheet. Maybe you can use an Excel sheet. I use a simple Excel sheet where you have a column where you have the particulars, what you're spending on, and the amount every month. It's very easy. If you're good at Excel, you can use Excel or whatever you feel comfortable with. But please follow one thing. Maybe you both sit and plan the budget, but one of you can take the responsibility of tracking, looking into all the sources where you have spent, like the UPI, credit card, and the other sources, and make a note. And this is the time, the first year of your marriage, where you can make commitments. I commit, let's commit that keep our, we will spend according to our budget. Remember, when you're budgeting, you also have to set aside some money for savings. So, roughly 10% to begin with, set aside. And the rest of it, you plan as your budget. Make commitments that you will not spend more than this. Make commitment. This is what we will spend. This is the time of your marriage when you can actually sit together and make commitments, because these commitments will last for your lifetime. Make decisions. Make decisions about how you will spend. For example, make decisions that we will not do impulsive spending. We will only spend what is budgeted. What we both have agreed, only that we will spend. If we have to spend more than that, let's consult. So I don't just go and spend using my card or whatever because I earn. This is my money. As I said, it's not my money and your money, it's our money. I have realized this in my 23 years of marriage as of June 2024 that your biggest asset will not be your house, your investments, but but how you manage your money. Managing your money, managing your expenses will be one of your biggest assets. Remember that there are two ways to grow your wealth. One is reduce your spending, and the other is increase your returns. So, reduce your spending. If you reduce your spending by even 5 or 10%, and if you keep investing it in a systematic investment plan in a mutual fund, which we'll talk about a little bit later, if you do that, you may actually generate lakhs and crores of rupees by the time you retire. That is the potential. So reduce your spending, increase your savings, and you will build your wealth. This should be a part of your spending plan. Remember, as it is said by Charles, that it is not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. So if you, right in the beginning of your marriage, work on this area of spending, make certain decisions, commitments, organize your spending, tracking, you would have learned an excellent skill that which will help you grow your wealth, make you a disciplined spender, somebody who somebody who can be trusted with money. And if you as a couple want to really be disciplined, organized, and responsible, it's your spending plan. So we have seen 5 things. Number one, have a risk plan at the earliest. Second, combine your finances. Number three, have a loan, have a debt management plan. Number four, know each other's money personality. Number five, have a spending plan. And now, number six, a very important plan, which is not easy to plan. You need some skills. But if you plan it well, it will be very rewarding. It will add to your wealth exponential growth. So listen carefully, the investment plan. Now, any investment plan begins with financial goals. Like, like in many other things, whether it is weight reduction, or whether it is professional, or your spiritual, or your family, you all need goals. Same with your money. You need financial goals. Once you have those financial goals written down, then that is where you can build your financial plan. You can build your investment plan. Financial goals gives you a direction. For example, retirement goal is a financial goal. If you know how much you need in your retirement, for example, you may need maybe 5 or 6 crores, so that the rest of your life, that is from 60 to 80, 80 or 90, you need to live on that money. So you must know how much will be your retirement fund, your corpus. And how do you know that? That is what is financial planning. And with the financial plan, you will also be able to know how much I should save from today, that is at 30 till 60, to have that 5 crores. Should I save 10,000, 15,000, or whatever? Now, how do you calculate this? I have posted another video. I've posted 2 videos. One is retirement fund planning, and second is common financial goals. And in both these, I have uploaded an Excel sheet and explained how to plan your financial goals. Your financial goals are retirement planning, your retirement goal. If you're newly married, so you may want to buy a house, how to save and invest for the down payment for a home or purchasing a home, car purchasing a car, children's higher education, children's wedding, maybe a philanthropy goals. These are all goals. And for all these, you need to have numbers. And remember that the numbers that you decide today will change because of inflation. So if you think your children's higher education, for example, the number is 10 lakhs. Today it is 10 lakhs, but after 10, 15 years, it will be in crores. So you must factor into inflation. And that is what this sheet will do. Just open the sheet and enter the details based on this video. Watch it and complete this financial goal. Once you have this financial goal, then you start saving and investing, because this financial plan will give you a direction. For example, if you want to send a rocket in the space, you have the rocket with you, you need to fill the fuel. How much will you fill? You don't know. Do you need, for example, 100 tons of fuel or 200 tons of fuel? We don't know. So you must know. And that is what is financial planning. That is what financial planning does. You decide, you through this, through the Excel, you'll be able to know how much, and then how much you start saving from today. And remember that a very important thing for investing, not saving. Saving is short term, investing is long term. Investing has to beat inflation. In my another video, which says confused where to start investing, don't worry. Watch that. That'll really help you complement this video. It'll help you understand the various nuances of investing and where you can invest to make money, to beat inflation. Then my recent video, 3 legs of compounding. You'll find this picture, 3 legs of compounding. Watch that. That will help you, make you understand the importance of compounding. Remember that you must beat inflation, and you can beat inflation over a long period. Inflation could be 5 or 6%. You must earn more than that. And when you start saving early, regularly, you will take advantage of the miracle of compounding. And that should be a part of your investment plan. Remember that increased returns multiplied by number of years, multiplied by the money invested, will give you exponential returns. This is the best year. You are in the most sweet spot of investing. I personally believe I have missed, because I did not do systematic investing when I was first year in my marriage. In fact, for many, many years, I did not do systematic investing. And I have missed a lot. And that's why I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. I don't want you to learn from your mistakes, but learn from people like us who have missed the bus. And you need not. So you are at the right age. Have a good investment plan. So we have done 6 things now. Number 1, have a risk plan. Number 2, combine your finances. Number 3, have a debt management plan. Number 4, know each other's money personality. Number 5, have a spending plan. Number 6, have an investment plan. And finally, this is something that is very close to my heart. And you may choose not to follow this plan. But if you follow this part of the plan, you will get maximum blessings. And you know something? Blessings are not just material, the money that you receive. Blessing is, for example, peace of mind. Blessing is the joy and happiness. Blessing is that feeling of satisfaction. These are all blessings which come from within, and they enrich our lives, right? If you have a very good relationship with your spouse, how do you feel? On one end, you may have millions of rupees. On the other hand, you have a loving spouse. How do you feel? That is a blessing. And all these 6 steps I have talked about will actually lead to that blessing of lovely marriage. But there's one more thing which, if you try, if you work on this, it'll truly add blessings. That is generosity. Number 7. The Bible says it is more blessed to give than to receive. And there are tons and hundreds and thousands of quotes on giving and generosity. And all those who are generous, have you ever felt good when you gave some food to a poor person? Or when you gave sacrificially some money to a poor person? Or to a small child in the railway station, or maybe outside a restaurant or outside an eatery, when you eat and someone comes and asks for food and you give them food, how do you feel? It's a blessing. And research tells that those who give have a very happy life. They have they enjoy life. They do better at many other things in their life. They have good mental health. They don't have mental health issues. In fact, giving and generosity is an antidote to greediness. So, this is something that as a family you must decide right at the beginning of your marriage. Set aside 1%, 2%, 5%, even 10% of your money as generosity and give it regularly. You can give it to anyone. You can give it to the church. You can give it to the poor. You can give it to a needy. There are so many people in our country who are suffering with various diseases. They don't have money for hospitalization. Carefully think about it, prayerfully give it. And when you do that, that will add blessings to your marriage right in the first year of your marriage. And then it becomes a part of your life. And you will keep giving. You will want to give more. I hope you have learned in these 7 things, right? Let's summarize. Number 1, have a good risk plan, which includes the insurances, emergency fund. Then, number 2, combine your finances, have a joint account. You two have become one. So come together, communicate, be transparent. You're really building a foundation for your marriage and for building wealth. Then, number 3, have a proper debt management plan. Get rid of your loans. You can also watch the videos that I've mentioned. Then, number 4, know each other's money personality so that you appreciate and complement each other. Number 5, have a good spending plan which includes budgeting, tracking, and other things. Number 6, have an investment plan which includes financial goals. And number 7, generosity. Become generous. Plan your giving. Once again, let me emphasize, reiterate, you are at the best time of your married life. Capitalize on this first year of your marriage. Learn all these things because these will really help you build your relationship and your wealth. Then you will be useful to this society. You'll not just live for yourself, but for others. Because when you have a great wealth, you can give, you can be generous, you can enjoy, you can have financial freedom early in life, and you can buy whatever you like. By the way, when you learn how to spend well, later on in years, you'll be very careful what you're spending on. So I wish you best wishes for your marriage and for growing your wealth. Wish you blessings for your marriage. And I hope you liked this video. If you think that this has added value to your life, please share in the comments. Please give a like and also share this video to all your friends, families, relatives, whoever you think will benefit from this video. It's my mission to help young families to grow their wealth and their marriage together. See you in my next video.